Ecstasy. Ecstasy. Ecstasy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindminx Show. I am your favorite Mindminx, and we are here with Mixed Vibes Radio, as we always are. And we're broadcasting live from the new Mecca Studios, located in Union, New Jersey. And we're going to talk about how you came up with your name.
Yeah. That's always the first question.
Yeah, because, you're not a sad person, but this is so everybody welcome, and please welcome Sad Hippie.
What's up, you guys? Thank you so much for having me.
But it's an interesting, because, when I was reading through your bio, and you're like, you're very upbeat, you're very, sad hippie. So how did that happen?
So it's really strange how it happened. It was back like in 2014. I was on my way to Pennsylvania, and I was going through a really rough time. I had just had a brain injury. Oh, wow. I was hospitalized for a really long time. I fractured my temporal lobe. I lost the hearing in my right ear. I was homeschooled for over a year. I was not able to do gym. I had to stop cheering. I had to stop doing everything. And so I definitely had like quite a few intense emotional experiences in my life. And during that time, I wanted to change my Instagram handle because I hated it. It was so stupid. It was like Queen something, and it just didn't have anything to do with me. So I don't know. I was like, I'm going to just do Sad Hippie just to do it, like just as my Instagram handle. And then everybody started calling me that like all the time. They caught on really fast. I had no idea that would happen. And then I got into music, and my manager at the time, he was like, I need you to keep it. And Cito on the beat too, he was like, you have to keep it. It's a whole vibe. So I would always make like, like tie-dye clothing and like hippies. It's just who I am, honestly. Okay. I guess I tried to maintain a really positive personality, a really positive attitude, because I've had all of those experiences. So I guess it comes from that. Just I'm just a sad hippie sometimes.
With the biggest smile on her face.
Yeah. I also think I use the music a lot as like my catharsis. So like I'm really positive, but when you listen to my music, it's not really that like, it's not really that happy,
Oh, okay.
So I let it out. It's for the music. I do it for the music. I guess it's like my little alter ego a little bit, for sure.
So when you started music, so this wasn't always a thing for you.
So I've always been singing, and I've always been writing. When I was in 6th grade, I had a little band called, we were called the Cherry Rockers. I really tried to put it together. So music has always been part of my life. I did chorus in high school, but stepping into a studio and making music professionally, that really started for me in 2016. When my 2 tracks, they got a lot of views on SoundCloud, and they're over like 130K right now. Wow. Which was awesome because it was without any like paid marketing or promotion. It was all organic, and I'm really grateful for that because that helped me realize that this is something I could do long term, So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we have to talk about it because literally you are the only other Jersey girl in the room with me right now. Everybody else is originally from New York.
We love Jersey. I love Jersey. I love being from Jersey, and we're awesome.
And I have the only frog in my throat right now, just so everyone knows.
It's okay.
The only frog. I've been talking too much today. Okay. But so you're from Guttenberg.
Yes.
And like, if anybody, like, I don't know if anybody else knows, right. If you try putting in a dress that's in Guttenberg, it doesn't come up.
It's like a 4-block town. It's very small. I went to North Bergen High School, and I was actually born in North Bergen. I lived in North Bergen with my mom until I was 8 years old. Then we moved to Guttenberg, and yeah. So I've been living there ever since. But right now, I'm a trader because I am currently in the process of moving to New York City.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Well, you work out there, so.
I work out there, and I'm getting a really big opportunity. My mom's aunt's basically giving me her apartment right in Midtown.
Awesome.
So who says no to that, right?
Absolutely
you know?
not.
So
As long as it's not the size of a closet.
it's not the size of a closet.
And you
It's
don't have to share a
really good
bathroom?
size. No, it's no roommates, just me.
No, I'm literally saying I'll see apartments that are a closet and it's a shared bathroom down the hall.
I know a lot of people with yeah. No, not me.
I try to justify that shit in my head and I'm like, yeah, no.
I just can't. I take like
can't.
45 minutes in the shower. I'm big on cleanliness. Absolutely not. Sorry.
So we need to give a shout out to your manager because you were on the schedule to work today. And
Yes. Shout out to Eric Desi. He's a little upset with me right now. I think there's some things he wanted me to do that I didn't get to finish. But he understands my passion and what I'm doing, and he respects it, so he held me down
so
today.
shout out to
Eric.
Eric, thanks so much for letting Sad Hippie be on the show.
Yeah.
And also, while we're doing shout outs, I want to say something really quickly.
Sure.
So I like doing this thing where I tell you what happened to me during the week, which is always an amazing story.
Same.
And so my kid, he works overnight. Yes, the one I tried to set you up with. So he was on his way. He works nights, and he was on his way to work.
Okay.
And he calls me, and it's like 7 o'clock at night. He calls me. He's like, "Mom, my card is dead on the middle of fucking 80."
His car?
Yes.
Oh, fuck no.
And, huh? No, Wednesday night. This was in the middle of the week. It's like 7 o'clock at night, and he's like, "It won't go anywhere." I was like, he's like, "I already called the cops that they're here. They're trying to, they called a tow truck to try to get," because he was in the left-hand lane. All the way in the left-hand lane, and there's obviously no shoulder on that side. The center divide is a concrete divide. That's all there is. So they're trying to figure out how to get him across 80 at 7 o'clock at night, which, yeah, it's already nighttime, but that's still high
so
traffic.
stressful and annoying.
And I'm like, "I'm coming." He's like, "Well, I guess I can't go to work." My kid just started. This is a brand new job for him. I was like, "Hell no."
It's always when it's always when it's something
I was like,
big.
"Hell no. I'm coming. We'll swap. You go to work. I'll take care of
And you
that."
take care of it.
Yeah. So
What day was it?
Wednesday.
That was payroll, so I know you're lying.
Wednesday night, asshole.
That was payroll. You told me don't disrupt you. You're in payroll.
That's during the day.
He's just trying to throw you under the bus.
It was Wednesday night. So I go out there. We're close to my house, so no big deal. And it was only 7 o'clock, so no big deal. And I get there, and I see, you can still see that there's a cop car, actually it was a state trooper, and he's in the left-hand lane behind my kid, and you could hear them on the speaker. They're like pushing him so that he can go, because he literally couldn't move. So then another state trooper came and literally blocked the entire traffic flow. They were at a dead fucking stop.
Oh,
And I'm at the shoulder, so they stopped.
So now
them.
no one's getting
Nobody's
anywhere.
getting anywhere. I'm on the shoulder. And I'm like, "Oh God, please don't let them hit anybody who knows me knows I love my car. My car is my baby." And I'm like, "Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me." Because they're like, we're talking about 80. Nobody does, it's
Yeah,
80.
they're
Do
flying.
80 on 80.
They're
Like,
flying
that's
on
the
the
minimum,
highway.
you know? So here's the trooper literally pushing he's got a pickup truck with his truck. And they push him across, they got him across the fucking highway onto the shoulder. And then my kid, literally, so this trooper is like, "Okay, I'll try to keep them up so I can get out of my car."
Oh my God.
So
This
we
is
can
so
swap.
stressful.
Super stressful. To the point where I say to my son, because the trooper walked with my kid back to my car so he could leave. I was like, "I left my cigarettes in my car and I need a cigarette."
You're like, "I'm stressed. I need a cigarette right now."
And so my kid gave my bag of cigarettes to the trooper and he handed it to me, and I was like, "I hope this is the hardest thing that you had to do tonight." Like, thanks. So I just wanted to shout out to the troopers, because honestly,
Shout
they
out
could
to
have
the
been
troopers,
like,
man.
yeah, they could have been
You held it down.
wait for a tow truck. They could have been like that, and they weren't. So I just wanted to shout out. That's what happened to your favorite Mindminx this week. Can't make this shit up, man.
Did he fuck up the bumper of your car?
I'm pretty sure. That's all right. That's what I got insurance for. Yeah. That's what I got insurance for. So now my kid and I are sharing a car, so thank God he works nights.
Somebody got a truck.
Yeah, he's busy.
I'm watching the game. Don't say nothing about my truck.
So thanks so much for letting me bogart the show to say
Absolutely.
that, but I thought we should give some shout outs. Also, let's give a shout out before I forget to the official sponsor of the Mindminx show, which is Absalon, located at 223 Intercrow Avenue, and Castro Beats for the original beat for the show. So
Very cool.
yes. All right, let's talk about you. Completely took like 15 minutes to tell a story, but that's me. It wouldn't be me.
It's
if
okay.
it
That
was-
way I can talk less about me. I'm fine with that.
No, you have to talk about you, man. So you wrote to me that your sound is like alternative R&B and pop.
Mm-hmm.
Explain how that.
Uh-oh. I mean, I've made so many different records. Even recently, the ones that I have that are unreleased, they all sound so different from each other. But for the most part, if you listen to my EP, Like Water, it's like a dark pop alternative sound. I would
They're not
say
even watching.
I would say Motives is a little more of like an alternative R&B, and the rest is a lot like a dark, melancholy pop. So yeah.
And you're writing all your own stuff.
I've always written all my own.
Really?
Yeah, I've never had somebody write for me ever. Like nobody has touched my pen, and I have no interest at the moment either. So
And how old are you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys are like I'm old enough to be your mom.
my birthday was October 25th. I just
Oh.
turned 24.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Are you still Libra at that point?
no, I'm a Scorpio.
You're
I
already a
haven't said
Scorpio.
it.
Oh.
I'm a Scorpio. I'm all about it.
I'm October 18th.
So you're a Libra?
I'm a Libra.
I have Sun in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, Venus in Scorpio, Lilith
Wow.
in Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio as it gets.
No wonder you're so dark.
Yeah. That's like
I get
the
it.
vibe. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I use the music to let that out of me a lot. You know, so it's incredible.
Wait, I think we talked about this astrological stuff too, because I'm
Did
big
we?
in that. Yes, because my sun is in Libra, but my moon is in Aries.
Okay.
And my rising is in Sagittarius.
My rising is in Sagittarius too, and my moon is in Sagittarius. And I was born during Pluto and Sagittarius generation. So a lot of Sag and Scorpio in my chart, big time. Like stelliums and Scorpio, stellium and Sagittarius. So yeah.
I believe in all that shit, man.
Yeah, I've been studying it since I was 13.
Really?
Yeah, I have the books, I have the whole thing, and I'm a little bit past like tropical astrology now. I'm really into Vedic astrology now. So like Indian astrology, like the original astrology, and it's
Okay.
extremely informative, and it's just incredible. Like it's incredible. I highly recommend that you get into it if you ever decide.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Wait, so do you think that ever affects
Yes.
like when, if there's a new moon, like there's a new moon
Yes.
coming up, people this week.
Yes.
So I wouldn't, But is it a chaotic one? Should we be making moon water this week?
I don't see new moons as chaotic. I see full moons as very chaotic.
Oh, okay,
I think
okay.
new moons is like a very, it's more of like a calm,
Okay.
balanced energy. Not a lot happens during that time, but leading up to a full moon is when you'll see people start driving crazier. Your experiences will be more emotionally intense. People will start revealing things to you that you had it's like a time of like culmination during a full moon. And you'll see even at hospitals and stuff, like they'll always say we get the most accidents and the most patients coming in during a full moon.
Wow.
Always, every time without fail. So yeah, I'm
you-
big on that.
Well, does that influence your writing? Like, let's say
It influences my writing, yeah. Yeah, I think I have too much astrological knowledge to say that it doesn't influence my writing, So, yeah.
I love that.
And I'm continuously keeping up with like my transits within my own personal birth chart, so I know what's going on. Like if I'm feeling really low for a few days, I don't really stress about it because I know Saturn is just making an opposition to my moon or something. So I may feel like things are delayed for me at the moment, like nothing is going right, like I'm a little bit depressed, but then I know that I'll get out of it. So that has really helped me to like navigate my emotions in my life, like in general, because instead of thinking, oh, like everything is so chaotic, I don't understand what's going on, I actually do have insight into what's going on.
I believe
so
in
I
that
just
shit.
chill.
I believe in that. I was like, how can you tell me that the moon literally, scientifically, has control in one way or another of oceans to create the tides?
And we're made up of, I think, more than 70% of water.
How could it not affect us?
Like water,
Yeah.
Hey. So yeah.
There's everybody who was like astrological book.
But they don't know anything about it. And I think because it's become something so mainstream and it's become like a meme at this point, a lot of people are never going to take the time to actually get into the reality of what it is. It just became like an Instagram, Twitter, like generalized thing, I get it.
I do my cinnamon at the beginning of the month at my front door. I promise you, I'll be in bed half asleep and I will still get up and make sure it's still midnight. Yep. I believe in that shit.
Hell yeah.
I do.
Me too.
So do you find, like, let's say you're writing something.
Okay.
Are you always aware of what, like the trines and, what's going on with the planets? Are you always aware of that when you're writing? Or do you write something and be like, oh, holy shit, it's because...
More so like that. So, like, I'll use it more like to look back and I'll be like, oh, like, what transits was I going through during that time? And I'll be like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I had, like, a lot of Plutonian things going on. Or, let's say, I don't know, like... During the time that I wrote that record, Saturn was transiting my 5th house. So my love life was just really going through it during that time. Like I'll kind of put the pieces together. But I try not to always be on top of that every single day because you don't want it to ever over-influence your life or what you do or your art or anything, But it is a big part of my life. It really is.
Do you ever find that looking back, let's say, like you said, looking back, you check what was going on with the stars or whatever, and you're like, that explains that. Isn't it like affirmation?
All the time. Mostly with progressed moons. Because we're all born with like a natal moon in our birth chart, but it progresses with time, so it won't change. I don't know how to explain it. It's like every 2 years or every 2 years and a half, your progressed moon will change signs, and you'll notice a major difference in your life during that progression. Like during progressed moon in Virgo, I got a new job. I was extremely stressed out in college. I developed like a health problem. Like everything basically that symbolizes Virgo and the nervous system happened to me during that time.
Wow.
When I had my brain injury, progressed moon was in Cancer, transiting my 8th house. 8th house that rules over Scorpio. Scorpio rules over life and death and rebirth and all that. I lost my grandma. I had my brain injury. I got in a relationship. So it was all about death and rebirth in my life during that time. And I only pieced that together years after looking back. But it's so cool that you can look back because it kind of really shows you the proof. It shows you the proof, So it's not bullshit. It's been very accurate for me. So
I obviously I believe this whole conversation has become astrological.
This is an astrology podcast, actually.
And we're in retrograde at the moment.
So many. Mars just went retrograde. It'll be there for a while in Gemini, which is so like, ew. Yeah.
Into 2023.
Yeah.
My kid keeps texting me. He knows.
Does he?
Yeah. I wonder if he heard me talking about him. No, he doesn't ever watch me. Okay, so let's talk about your music. So we're going to be listening to one of your songs today. Okay. And I got to hear you perform this live. And I remember... Lex. You need Lex, right?
Sorry.
Listen, I have a self-diagnosed ADHD, so...
You self-diagnosed? I have diagnosed ADD. So, I mean, I feel you.
So everything is always... I notice everything. Okay, so in any case, so I got to see you perform this live. And what I loved about, and we were talking about this before we went on air, was the fact that the new Mecca verse, that you guys are literally fans of each other's work.
Major.
It's not just like you're a part of this group that is called New Mecca. You guys are an actual family, or you're each other's biggest fans.
We're super involved in each other's work and each other's art and each other's lives. I love them all very much, and yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have a huge TNM playlist. I play it all the time. I listen to all of them. I make sure to know all the lyrics. I make sure to critique when I have something that I don't like, and I want them to do the same for me because, we're a team. That's what we're supposed to do. If it wasn't that, then we would just be people using the same studio and then just leaving, but we're a team.
Right.
We genuinely are.
Yeah.
So...
And that was nice to see. And it wasn't just because the girls of New Mecca had performed that night. So it wasn't just the other girls that knew your stuff. The guys knew your stuff.
I think they probably know it more than the girls.
I love that. I think that is so great because, at the end of the day, today's day and age, it's very hard to find loyal friends and the family that you get to make. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that it still exists.
Definitely.
And we got to hear it, but what are we going to hear today?
Was it the one that I chose earlier?
Yes.
So it's Surrender. It's actually an unreleased record produced by Elsewhere on the Beat. Shout out Elsewhere on the Beat. He's a member on our team. He's awesome. And yeah, it's called Surrender.
And where were you?
Oh my God.
In your...
Yeah.
When you came up with
I was
this?
at my last job. I was bartending and I couldn't stand it. I felt super exploited. And I had no beat or anything. It was like a slow day, and I wrote the entire record on receipt paper. And then I told Elsewhere, I'm like, yo, I need a beat. And he made it for me, and we set it up. And then now it's like, I think it's Izzy Nice's like favorite record that I've made so far, like one of them. So yeah.
Wait, so I have to ask you this one thing. You kept that receipt, right?
No. What? Can you believe that?
I cannot.
Because for me, it was something I was so used to doing all the time, like writing something down, blah, 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 like getting rid of it, and then like putting it in my phone or putting it in my music notebook where I write my stuff. So it's probably in my notebook. But the receipt, I remember I wrote like on a bunch of like different receipts, and I probably threw them out after I put it into my phone. Yeah. The reason I was doing that was more so just to get it out, like just to get it out of me, and that's what I had. It would have been really cool to keep that. You're so right.
Keep 'em.
I know. And that's not the first time I've written on receipt paper. When I was on my other job, I would write on like post-it, like on post-it notes, and I would get in trouble with my boss all the time. He'd be like, "What's all this shit on all these papers?" I'm like, that's my music. Don't call it that. But
Please don't ever throw them away.
I know. Thank you for telling me that, because I throw out all that stuff.
You're very welcome. All right, so everybody, let's hear Surrender.
Like am I checking in with myself? I can hardly tell. All this push and pull got me in a strange position. Like why I push them all away, complain that I'm by myself. I be listening to my schedule. You better try, gonna make more time for my mental. You better try, gonna let go and just surrender. You better fly, you better fly. But can I handle this all like will I know what to do when it's near? Something so fragile, something so clear. All this dreaming and wishing got me feeling anxious. Like am I running out of time? It's getting so hard to tell. All this begging for love and some reciprocation. Like why is it so hard for all these dudes? They just keep it real. To my schedule, you better try, can I make more time for my mental? You better try, can I let go and just surrender? You better fly, you better fly. Can I feel love into my schedule? You better try, can I make more time for my mental? You better try, can I let go and just surrender? You better fly, you better fly. My schedule. You better try, can I make more time for my mental? You better try, can I let go and just surrender? You better fly, you better fly. Can I feel love into my schedule? You better try, can I make more time for my mental? You better try, can I let go and just surrender?
I've been adding a lot during my performances.
Okay.
And I don't put them on the record.
Oh, okay.
So I leave the record very clean, and I'll just do a bunch of extra shit during the performances.
Oh, so if you got to catch the live if you want to hear that.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it makes it more special. It's so funny because everyone who has seen me do Surrender live, they're like, oh, how come when we listen to the record you don't do fly? And like all that extra shit I do when I perform, I'm like, no, that's not on the record. That you get to see that live.
Yeah, you got to be there if you want to catch those moments.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So what do you got coming out next?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. I have a lot of records I've been working on. This one I just got mixed and mastered, so this is looking like it's gonna be my next drop.
Okay.
I have a lot of other singles I'm planning on dropping. I'm also working on a project right now with B Merc. Shout out B Merc. We have 2 like rap trap records right now, and they're freaking awesome. So I'm exploring a whole different sound with that. So I'm gonna have a project with him that's coming up, and I have some singles coming up. And I was just talking with Lex. Shout out your boy Lex. He's another artist and producer on our team. He made an awesome
he heard
beat
that.
for
They're
me.
watching football in the background, so I'm surprised he heard that.
he made a fire beat for me. We have a record called Up Down. Oh my god, he literally played that record for me, and it took me like 5 minutes to write something to it, and I was like, I have to record to this now. So we went into Lava. Sito let us use the room. I recorded on it, and now it's like one of my favorite records at the moment. So that's a really exciting song that I'm excited to drop. So yeah.
So do you let people know what your real name is? Like, is that something that's like, if we were to talk about that? Because I wanted to tell you a story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Usually when I'm in like a music space, people usually just call me Hippie, or they call me Sad, or they call me Sad Hippie always.
Okay.
A lot of people that know me through music don't even know what my real name is.
Well, neither did I. Right?
Yeah.
So we get to the studio this afternoon,
Uh-huh.
and both Demi and Lex were like, "Did you talk to?" And I'm like, "Who?"
You're like, what are you talking about?
And and Lex was like, "Oh my gosh, did I like not tell her the right person?" And so Demi finally said, like, Sad Hippie. I was like, "Oh yeah, I know her."
It's Antonia. My real name is Antonia Abutrabe. Abutrabe.
What nationality are you?
Yeah, so my mom is Colombian 100%, and my dad is Brazilian and Lebanese.
So that's a mix.
Yeah, yeah, it really is.
But then you have Antonia. So I thought you were Italian.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people think. But my mom just really liked the name. I don't remember who it was, but someone told her once, they were like, "You're gonna have a daughter and her name is gonna be Antonia." And I think it just really stuck, and she really liked this. She was like, "Bet," and she took it. So here I am. In the flesh.
Well, I loved it. I want to thank you so much for your time. I think we went longer than the half hour.
Did we? It felt so fast. I had so much fun.
Well, that's because I took up half the conversation.
Because we had to give a shout out to the troopers because they saved your son.
They did.
Obviously.
Oh, can I tell you what he rode over?
What
He rode over the step to a tractor trailer truck, and it wrapped around his tire.
So he could have died, basically. Oh my god. Yeah, you know, this is why I never got a car. I never got a car. I have my license, but I just like to be driven around because I don't know, I can't trust myself for too long with my own vehicle.
and I'm the opposite. I need to be driving 100% of the time. Yes.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
All right. So where can we find you on social media?
On social media, I'm most active on Instagram. I'm consistently posting on my stories and my feed about my music updates and just my life in general. You could find me at SAD_HIPPIE, Sad Hippie. And you can find me at Sad Hippie on all streaming platforms. Any streaming platform you want to find me on, I will be on there as Sad Hippie. So yeah.
Well, I definitely think that you guys should be following her as well as the rest of New Meccaverse.
Absolutely. Shout out New Mecca, baby.
Yeah. All right. So thank you to Uniquely Coordinated for this introduction for this amazing group, and to Izzy Nice. Love to your family right now, as well as Sito on the Beat. It is a brand new fucking week, so go own it and mind your favorite minx and join us next time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, you guys. This was awesome.